Important things a person will ever do. One of the most important things someone will do in their work. Potentially risky, but with many rewards, investing is important for many reasons. Investing takes on many different forms. Stocks, bonds, mutual funds, real estate, savings, and retirement come up throughout the average person's life. But with so many different types, it is easy to get confused. Stocks are investments in a company's ownership share. People who buy stocks buy them in hopes of selling them for profit. However, this can be risky because the price of a stock could go down and a person could lose money.
Some people should not own stocks at all because they just get too upset with price fluctuations. If you're going to do dumb things because your stock goes down, you shouldn't own a stock at all. I mean, if you buy your house at $20,000 and somebody comes along next day and says, I'll pay you 15, you don't sell it because the quote's 15. The best thing with stocks actually is to buy them consistently over time. You want to spread the risk as far as the specific companies you're in by owning a diversified group, and you diversify over time by buying this month, next month, the year after the year after. If you save money, you can buy bonds, you can buy a farm, you can buy an apartment house, or you can buy a part of American business. And if you buy a 10-year bond now, you're paying over 40 times earnings for something whose earnings can't grow. And you compare that to buying equities, good businesses, I don't think there's any comparison. You're making a terrible mistake if you stay out of a game that you think is going to be very good over time because you think you can pick a better time to enter it. I know what markets are going to do over a long period of time. They're going to go up. But in terms of what's going to happen in a day or a week or a month or a year even, I've never felt that I knew it, and I've never felt it was important. I will say that in 10 or 20 or 30 years, I think stocks will be a lot higher than they are now.
Bonds are lent amounts from a person to a larger entity that matures over a certain amount of time with interest. While generally safer than stock investments, there is a risk if a higher entity folds or defaults.
Let's say you're putting money in a government bond. You loan the government $1,000 with a 10% interest rate over 30 years. The U.S. Treasury will now pay you 10% of your money, $100, every year for the next 30. That's $3,000. In addition, once the 30 years are up, the Treasury gives you back your original $1,000. Because you made a $1,000 investment, 30 years later, you now have $4,000.
Mutual funds are pools of investors' cash that is put into many companies. They can be managed by those involved in it and managed based on where the money will increase in value. Real estate is a common investment where someone will buy or manage property for profit. This comes in handy because, unlike cars, real estate usually appreciates in value. Savings accounts are very common investments. People will place money into these accounts and earn small amounts of interest on these funds over time. The more money they have, the more interest they'll earn. Another perk to savings accounts is the fact that you can use that money later. You can use that to build up a good emergency fund, and depending on your interest rate, you can build up that over time. Retirement investments build up over time and are enjoyed by the aging population after a lifetime of work. Unlike many other investments, these plans are typically offered by workplaces in the form of 401ks. While there is a lot to learn about investing, understanding different types of investments is an important first step in allowing your cash to go a long way.